Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You can get a job in the Middle East simply by trying or by magic, through others, or by a fluke. Remember that competition is everywhere. Some here, some there, but bam! Loy Machedo is the best.
All right, today is the 7th of December 2023. As announced, this would be the final Ask Me Anything for 2023. I posted the announcement on my YouTube channel, that is community page. I asked you guys. I got around 38 comments, out of which the questions are not 38. The questions are fewer. But I'll do my best to answer all of them. And just check the timestamp just to know when the next question is coming. All right. If there is any particular question that I feel deserves a dedicated video, I will make one later. All right. So without wasting any more time, this is the final Ask Me Anything for 2023. The next one will be held in January 2024. So let's start. This one is some user QN8. I don't know. They have these new coded names. You can customize, by the way, you can customize your @ handle for those of you who have these weird, really long sounding user QNEI8MU4F, whatever. Okay, you can customize your handle. All right. So the first question is, which are some of your favorite Hindi films? Okay, with regards to Hindi films, I made a I typed it out, a few names of the movies that I watched, which really impressed the daylights out of me. So these are my favorite Hindi films. Gangs of Wazepur is really at the top, even though it's a 4-hour movie. I never in my life thought I would like a Hindi movie more than a Hollywood movie. But Gangs of Wazepur seriously was an incredible masterpiece. I've loved it so much. I've literally stored a copy. The other one is The Lunchbox. What is his name? Irfan Khan? Yeah. Gangs of Wazepur, The Lunchbox. You'll be surprised if I tell you this. I even liked the Kashmir Files. Seriously, it was very dark. It was very sinister. Okay, I understand there's a little bit of controversy where the narrative takes place because they portrayed all Muslims and people who follow Islam as terrorists. But keeping that aside, I thought the Kashmir Files was a masterpiece. I love Amir Khan movies like Dangal, especially Dangal. I think it's one of the best motivating movies to watch. PK is extremely good, very creative. Dil Chahta Hai was a movie I watched so many times. Even Three Idiots. I never thought I would like Three Idiots. Three Idiots I watched, I think, 4 times in one day. The first time I seen it, someone forced me to watch it in the movie theater. Ended up going for the first show. The following day, I went for the second show. And subsequently, when I watched the second time, I think I watched it almost 4 times. So really like that. I think he comes out with great movies. Although that movie where he has copied Forrest Gump, I was not able to go through even the first 15, 20 minutes. I thought it was Lal Singh Chadda. Yeah, I'm not too sure if that's the right name. Then you'll be surprised to know that I like Bhagwan. That is Amitabh Bachchan's very sad movie. Oh, I keep watching that. I've seen it a long time ago. I literally, seriously, I cry when I see that scene where Amitabh Bachchan, after he drives the Ford, which sponsored the movie, and then that sales guy forces him to buy the car on a loan, and he says, no, it's not in my capacity. And then when he pushes him, he falls into the arms of Salman Khan, who is the orphan he raised. Oh, that scene makes me cry. It's like watching Ben-Hur. Ben-Hur is a 1959 movie. It's a classic. Uh, it's about it's a beautiful movie. If you ever like epic movies, that movie has never been able to. Nobody has been able to replicate that movie. It is that good. Ben-Hur. You must watch it. There's a small little twist, creative twist of having Jesus in that movie. And there is a scene where the hero has given up hope, he has fallen down, and then he says, God, help me, even though he didn't believe much in God. And they show the back, they don't show the face of Jesus throughout the movie, but the guy who's playing the role of Jesus, he, just very gently takes his face in his arms and uh, gives him water to drink. And it's such a touching scene. To this date, it's on YouTube, by the way. Jesus giving water. You can Google search Ben Hur, Jesus giving water. I still cry. I still cry when I see that. So Bagban is the scene which I really cry, and it's close to my heart. I love that movie. Although I felt that boy who acted as orphan, a little bit of overacting, and Salman Khan's is a little bit very overacting. Very it's you have these in movie. Even Bhag Milka Bhag, I liked it very much. The physical transformation of his body, even Amir Khan with Gajni. But then too many actors have started to do that. Satya, I thought, was pretty hardcore, very raw. And the last one is, I would say, Nana Patekar's movies. I feel they're very strong. In fact, you kind of inspired me to to type out a Google search on some of the most realistic movies. I have downloaded quite a number of them. I will be watching some of them. I'll give you their names. Um, Titli, Madras Cafe Company, Pan Singh Tomar, Ships of Thesis, Pink, then Makbul, Talwar, Vastav, Kahani, and Andha, Andha, don't know, something like that. Then Yuri, The Surgical Strike, Swadesh. I've not seen these movies. Udan, but I shoot out in Lokhandwala. So I've downloaded these, and you've kind of inspired me to watch them. So just a thank you to you for that. All right. So favorite Hindi movies I give you: Gangs of Wasipur, then Lunchbox, Kashmir Files, Dil Cha, Amir Khan movies, Dangal, PK, Dil Chahta Hai, Gajni, Nana Patekar's movies, Bagman Satya, and Bag Mil Ka Bag. So if you have any recommendations, including the ones I give you, let me know. Next one, Naturo Uzumaki. Okay. Is it okay to work in less salary than previously? Yeah, it all depends. What are your objectives? So, always keep this in mind. Working for a company, okay, just because they're paying you more doesn't mean that you'll enjoy the job more, or you'll enjoy the responsibility, or you'll enjoy the work environment. I have literally taken projects during my work days as an employee where they paid me less, but the person I was working for was like a father figure, a mentor, someone who I could learn from. There have even been instances in my life I've worked for free for a couple of months to gain experience. So it's okay to work for a lesser salary provided you're able to manage. And yes, what is your agenda? What are your objectives? Okay. The next one is Kio Pono Vens 77. Oh, bloody weird names, man. I seriously recommend change your handle to something where it's easier to read. Okay. How to focus on studies. Oh, so you're one of those students. Okay. How to focus on studies is very simple. If you switch off your smartphone, you switch off the internet, you lock yourself in a room, and there's nothing in that room other than just your book. Like imagine you're being put in prison, like a jail, where there's just a bed and there's just a book. There's nothing else. Well, you'll be forced to study. Trust me when I say this. I have actually done what I'm telling you. Given that I have ADHD, I literally lock myself in that time before marriage here in Samui. I locked myself in a room. Uh, Not lock myself, I closed myself in the room. There's nothing else. I didn't take my smartphone, nothing. And I told myself for the next 6 hours, whatever happens, and I finished sleeping, so I couldn't sleep. I'm going to sit and read. Okay. It was a management related book, and I didn't have a choice. And sometimes what I do is I go to Starbucks or a coffee shop. Starbucks here is slightly premium and expensive, so not many people come there. I take one corner, I turn my chair or the sofa that I'm sitting on facing the wall, including my table, so people are aware, oh, this guy doesn't seem to want to invite anyone. Because if you sit facing the audience, you'll see people moving, walking, you'll see, and if you're looking outside through the glass, you can see traffic moving, people, you get distracted. So I face the wall, I make sure I'm comfortable. I have my coffee, I have my tea, whatever, laptop, and focus on finishing the job until I finish it. I don't do anything. So that's how you focus on your studies. The other thing is, if you still need help, have a study group with someone who is better than you, more disciplined. Go to the library, because I think it will really help. One second. Because in the library, sorry, there are no distractions. Okay, then how to learn more topics in less time? Every habit or every skill takes time to master. So if you sharpen your skills, you get better and better. So it's all about improving your ability to learn more. So let's say, for example, same principle. You go to the gym, how to lift more. So you keep increasing the weight gradually, systematically, with intensity. Okay, and then you become stronger more and more. So same with the muscles of the brain. If you're able to keep yourself in the zone of studying and learning more throughout the year, okay, I'm telling you, from day one, January, versus how you'll be in June, versus how you'll be in December, you'll see a massive improvement. But consistency is the key, step by step. Okay. Last question: how to get rid of negative people? uh, just don't meet them. It's very simple. I stay alone here in Samui, on this island. Um, I don't keep friends. I don't want friends. I focus on my clients. But you'll say, yeah, then it's easy for you. Yeah, even clients, I choose my clients. If I feel someone is negative, not negative, I mean, I can't work with them for whatever reason. Even if the money is good, I say, sorry, not interested. So draw your boundaries very, very clearly. And remember, nobody's forcing you. Nobody's putting a gun to your head and saying, hey, talk to me. If they are, just be a listener. Yes, listen. So you can avoid very simple. Just make yourself scarce. If you're not available, how can anyone meet you? So just it's as simple as that. I don't entertain negative comments. I don't entertain trolls. Anyone sends me emails or WhatsApp messages talking garbage, never respond. Anyone, I simply block and delete them. So it's as simple as that. You have control over certain areas, focus on controlling that. External, you can't do anything. Okay. Um, then he has, then you have questions, Kino, Pono, use, or whatever, ends 77. How to react when someone is talking in a bad manner with you when you haven't done anything wrong to them. I don't know if you're talking of your parents. I don't know if you're talking of your friends or general. If it's your parents pay your bills, they feed you, they give you a place to stay, shelter. You have no choice, but you're obligated. Okay. If they didn't love you, if they didn't take care of you, you wouldn't survive. So they, there must be something wrong with you there. Otherwise, why would they? Maybe they have expectations, you're not meeting that. Okay. If it is not parents, and by the way, you're not specific in your question, so I'm assuming a lot of things. So if you're talking of friends, if they are disrespecting you, I think you need to stop interacting with that individual completely. Completely ignore that person. And if the person still bullies you and still talks to you in this thing, I think you need to stop hanging out in that group completely. Have new friends. And if it is just random people here and there, just 1 year to the other year, okay, if you can't escape. Or like I said, keep yourself scarce. If someone, me, if someone talks to me with disrespect or this thing, I just don't talk to the person ever again. It can be anyone, my client or anyone. With my clients, I draw a line. If they cross that line, sorry, we cannot work. So draw your rules very, very explicitly. Hey, something went in my eye. Okay. Samel 66996. Change your name. I don't know. You're trying to make a mark of the devil or whatever. What is the meaning of life? It's very simple. The meaning of life is the meaning you give life. Whatever meaning you give life is the meaning of life for you. So my meaning of life is different from your meaning of life. Okay. So you focus on what is the meaning of life for you. In how do you rephrase that? What does life mean to you? Is it about making money? Is it about enjoying life? Is it about girls? Is it about sex? Is it about movies? Is it about having fun? Is it about having a balance? Is it about having friends? So choose what makes life meaningful for you. That's the meaning of life for you. Don't bother about other people. So that's the policy I follow. Meaning of life for me, if you're asking me, I just want to be happy. And what do I mean by that? Doing what I love, earning enough to take care of my expenses and my family, and living a life of total freedom, which I'm doing. So perfect life, good health, and all that. Those variables come in. Okay. Next one, at the rate 85J Khan. Your opinion on the effectiveness of mass layoffs with respect to long-term efficacy of company growth. Okay. Because I've had friends who, or contacts or connections of people who are CEOs and owners of businesses, I know this for a fact. One of the biggest expense a business has is salaries. It's a expense that really kills a business. Like, you can't do anything for rent. You can't do anything for legal charges. You can't do anything for electricity, water. Those you can't do anything. But salary takes a massive chunk of a business's expense. So one of the reasons why companies focus on layoffs is to bring the expenses down so that they can balance out their payments. Because remember, cash liquidity is very important. So it's a short-term survival growth strategy. Long-term, it doesn't work out so much unless, of course, you employed too many people like Facebook, Spotify, all these online companies, Google. They just went on a hiring spree. I don't know, was it to show that we are very generous and we are very caring, and but it backfired because advertising revenue came down. They had to indulge in mass layoffs. So you need to find the optimal size. Apple is very good at that. They don't terminate people that easily. So you need to have a core team and achieve maximum from that. Having more doesn't mean you're actually growing. So effectiveness of mass layoff, short-term strategy for survival. Okay. With respect to long-term efficacy, you need to find a balance and focus on managing what you have. That is why even when people tell me that they're expanding their business, or they take my advice, they want to expand their business or have many branches, or even some YouTubers, they want to have many, they want to have more than one YouTube channel, or they want to start on Instagram and TikTok and uh, Facebook videos. I say, boss, you're spreading yourself too thin. One. So focus small, the better. Okay, hope this answers your question. Anis Ahmed 2296. I don't know if you're the same member of mine, but anyway, purpose of life. Yeah, I know these are very generic questions that people tend to ask, but the purpose of life is the purpose you give your life. Okay, what is the purpose of your life? You need to ask. For different people, it's different. For some people, it's smoking, drinking, shagging women, and enjoying life, like some of the sex pats that come here. Retirees are, I just want to spend time with my wife, or like I know people who made lots of money during the Bitcoin or cryptocurrency boom. They made 100 million. Or now they're just lying on a beach with their wife, or they're single, just enjoying life. That is their purpose. So for some other people like me, it's doing what I love, okay? Making money, doing what I love, enjoying total freedom, and being able to provide for me and my family. So different people, different purpose of life. For you, you find out what is your purpose. Definition of happiness, simple. What makes you happy? Okay. For me, it is making these videos. It's what? Now it's 5:34. I got up at 4 o'clock. This makes me happy. I was able to answer a couple of client questions. That makes me happy. I make money offering my consulting services. That makes me happy. I'm able to buy what I like, eat what I like, live a simple life. No friends, no family. So that is happiness for me. It may not be happiness for you. Even watching a movie while eating food that I like, that's happiness for me. So you find out what's happiness for you and live within that. Okay. And yes, happiness always comes when your expectations are low and you're able to meet them. If your expectations are way too high, you will never achieve happiness, especially if you're in love with someone whose expectations are high. Then it's a disaster. Next one, what is your vision towards life and surrounding after 40s comparing with the 20s? I've already made multiple videos on this. Uh, Life at 20s versus life at 40s. So you can just Google search that. Me at 20 versus me at 40. I have, I think, 3 or 4 videos. I might make one next year. That is January 2024. But I already have answered this question. So if I were to give you one line, vision of life, before it was more girls, it was more fun, it was more sex, it was more trying out new things, new places to eat, friends. It was just enjoy, have fun, impulsive. Get the salary, spend it. Not think about tomorrow. Okay. And surroundings, I always wanted attention. Look at me. Muscles are big, girls are beautiful, tattoos. Okay. And I always wanted to be center of attention. Today, life is more about doing the work that I love. I'm not focused on likes. I'm not focused on numbers, like social media currency of likes, comments, number of subscribers. I don't base my value on that. Um, it's more of I make money, but not to show off. I live a life not to post it on Facebook. Hey, I'm living the greatest life. No, it's very private. And my surroundings, it is limited now. No friends, no family, no outsiders. Just my wife, my baby, me. And now my wife and baby is in the village. They are in the village. I stay alone. I'm very happy. I'm cleaning up the house, sorting out things. You get into a routine whereby you become very peaceful and quiet with yourself. So that's the, I don't know, kind of nirvana kind of maturity that you should reach for, where you're not looking for external approval and validation, but internal. And your final question is thoughts on the financial debt, house loans and vehicle loans. Any loan that you take, you are taking X amount of money and you'll pay X amount of interest. But given if you get money easily for loans, it is a trap. And most probably, if you're not able to pay it back, the bank will seize your assets. The bank will, you'll be at the losing end. So please avoid living a life of loans. Even a house loan, people take a house loan for 30 years. I mean, for 30 years of your life, you're in debt. Uh, they say, oh, finally, I have the house of my dreams. Yeah, but you paid loan. Why don't you just save for that house? Down payment cash, get the house. That's why I prefer living a house that is rented rather than taking a loan and having so much money that is the principal amount and then so much money as an interest. If you merge both of them, you could get a much bigger house. So what's the point of taking any item, especially vehicles, taking a car, living far beyond your means, just to show people that you're driving a fancy car. It's stupid now. So live within your means. Or on what extreme instances taking loan or borrowing money is allowed? Okay, I think you need to rephrase your question. Uh, on what instance is borrowing money allowed? Well, it depends on the rules, if I follow your question. But what I think you're trying to ask me is, when should an individual take a loan? I don't think you should take a loan. Seriously. Do whatever it takes, live within your means. Because if you're taking a loan out of desperation, that means you're not able to manage your finances, which is very, very bad. And if you take a loan for business, 1000% you will lose. That means you're an absolute failure. And yes, I'm aware that there are some businesses that have taken loans, but there is a far and few and dime a dozen. Please don't take a loan. Okay, next one. At the rate impressive09. Change your this gentleman keeps asking me good questions. Change your display picture. Why are you having with the mask down? I mean, you have a decent face. Why are you putting the mask underneath? Have a nice photograph, no? Suit and tie or just a smart one. Okay, impressive09. Loy, sir, I wanted to ask you, will this Israel-Palestinian war drag beyond 23, 24, and okay, and has the potential to spill over a wider conflict? Okay, the first part is, I definitely do think it's going to move beyond 2023 because there are hardly, I don't know, just 26 more days. So it'll go to 2024. Will it continue throughout 2024? I think as long as Netanyahu is in power, he'll keep doing that because he's a warmonger and there are a lot of forces that are supporting him, especially the West, where they are able to sell a lot of weapons, make a lot of money. So as long as he's in power and the people who are sponsoring him with all the weapons, they have mutual benefit, they'll continue this. When he's not in power, maybe the new party might want to take a different strategy. But this war is terrible, terrible, absolutely terrible. And has it the potential to spill over to a wider conflict? It does have potential, but they are not going to allow that because I think all the countries and leaders, they are very much aware. If there's a war, there are no winners. There are only losers. Okay. Next one is, will there come a situation when all expatriates will have to leave the Gulf region for their own safety, like the Kuwait Gulf War situation? I was one of the victims of that. My parents left the Middle East, UAE, during the Gulf War because we thought, Saddam Hussein, nuclear bomb, but nothing happened. But in answer to your question, will there come a situation when all expatriates will have to leave? No, never, never. It's never going to happen because 80% to 90% of the population, let's say, for example, UAE, 90% is expatriates. If they all leave, the country is empty. It's not possible, man. So never will there be a situation like that because if there is, the whole economy, the whole country completely collapse. So it's impossible. Okay. Next one is AntonioMeridatti. How does Tai Lopez and his minions work? Okay, Tai Lopez and his minions. Tai Lopez is, you might like him or you might hate him. Most of the people hate him because he has bombarded people with those YouTube ads here in my garage. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just Google search Tai Lopez here in my garage ad. It's pretty infamous. But how do they work and how do his minions work? A little bit of disrespect there. I guess you don't like him very much. But he's exceptionally intelligent. And they follow a very simple protocol. They book an ad. Okay, it's like you spend $1 and the product that you're selling from the sales funnel after the free videos, you tell them, okay, I'll give you amazing value of $1,000. You just pay $7. So you spend $1 of an ad, you got $7 back. So the difference profit is $6. Obviously, not every dollar will become a customer, but as you keep pushing in volumes, then you cover your cost. And that is why so many internet marketers, they have tried $1 ad, $97, whatever product or service, and they create one and they market this to the masses. So you don't have the cost of creating a course or a book or a service, that particular service. You can just send them the link of the video or whatever. But I'll tell you, this backfires because eventually people get bored of you, and your product or service is copied, and then it has no value. There's no long, there's no longevity with this strategy. It's short term and it dies off. Then is it a multi-level marketing or Ponzi scheme? It's not a Ponzi scheme. Like even what these people are offering you courses, they are not cheating you, but they are exaggerating the value that you'll get. You'll never get anything of value that they are offering, because what they do is copy paste the information from the internet, reword it, repackage it, and give it back to you. I can challenge you on this. Listen to a 3-hour talk of Tai Lopez. Listen to the full 3-hour talk. Take notes. Nothing he says is new. It's all generic stuff. In fact, I fell for the credibility of Neil Patel. I really thought he was a very genuine guy. I paid $1,000 to listen to his course or take part into some certification program. That was when I started new. Absolute and utter rubbish. Each module, he has maybe 40 or 60 modules. Each module is 1 hour. They just show you like presentation slides. What is marketing? For 1 hour, you listen what is marketing. Next one is what is branding. 1 hour, you listen. All generic stuff just to waste your bloody time. And after you finish from beginning to the end, you realize, and it's like I read a book on management that I got from college. Zero value. So it's not a Ponzi scheme. They do give you something, but it has zero value. So, and nothing is practical. Then how do PR teams work? PR teams of theirs, well, they employ people in the Philippines, or they employ people in third world countries because it's cheaper there to employ service providers like that. They give them a set of instructions. You book these ads, and like one team will book these ads. One team will, like Andrew Tate, he has teams of people whom he offers the video. Their job is to clip and cut bits and pieces. And then because he had people in his that WhatsApp, that university of his, whatever, Tate University, Hustlers University, and he also offered them points, and he gave them complete authority to use his content, get more views, and be part of an exclusive club. Because remember this much, nobody could use his videos without his permission. He did it because he knew that it was marketing his brand. And yes, he did offer them commissions or whatever at that point of time. But today, everyone knows about it. So short term, this works. Long term, it always fails. Remember, you can't fool people forever. Okay, next one is drummer Boy 7178. And his question is, we all have so-called friends. In whom do we trust, share, and care? Well, it's a question of choosing wisely, intelligently. Why do you have friends? It's because you initiate the process, and you invite people, you allow people to come into your life. You hang out with them, you be with them, then obviously they become your friends. So that's why you have friends. Who do you trust and share and care it is something that you need to, do step by step. Never trust someone explicitly, step by step. Like even my wife. First, can I trust her with 10? Can I then trust her with 20, then 50, then 100? And slowly, you take each day at a time. Always remember, never ever have a situation where you totally sign off everything to the person, whether in business, whether in love, marriage, whatever. Even with my wife, every day is a new day. Every day you have to prove yourself. I have to prove myself to my wife by looking after them, providing for them. She has to prove herself to me by doing her job and managing the expenses. So if um, there is any discrepancy, then we work on it. But there are some underlying rules which you must have. that if you violate these rules, it's the end of the relationship. For my wife, very explicit, if she spends even a penny without my permission, irrespective whether someone is dying of cancer or someone she had to do or they would die, one penny, it's a divorce. I've told my wife, so my wife explicitly knows. In the same way, your friends, you should draw your rules and you should ask them what are theirs. So if they break any of this, it should be there's no compromise. It's like glass. Once you break it, you can't fix it back. Then is it a reasonable decision to introduce them to the family members or not? Why do you want to introduce them to your family? A very simple question. Keep your friends private, your family private. You don't need to introduce them to your friends if you're not sure. And but if you do want to introduce them to your friends so that your family knows who are the people you hang out with, introduce them. But remember, keep your expectations real. Just tell your mom, this is just a friend. Don't tell them this is my best friend. This is a person I hang out with. Or you can talk to them beforehand and tell them, I'll be bringing tomorrow, or I'll be bringing this guy or this girl after 1 hour. Just a person who I hang out with. Just do give me your evaluation privately. Let me know what is your assessment. That can also be a way. There are ways and means to do it. Then what would be the advantages and drawbacks of doing so? Well, the advantage is they would know who you're hanging out with. So if there is a problem tomorrow, they know who to call. Drawbacks is if they do not like the person, then your parents will sit on your head and keep chewing your brains and why you hanging out with them, what you want to do with them. But remember, your parents are taking care of you, paying your bills and expenses. So they have the best interest for you. So maybe your choice may always not be the smart one. Next one is TWEETYDOTPIE. Okay, she is a member of my group and regular. If you hit the bucket, that is if I die suddenly, what happens to your channel? Yeah, very simple. It's the end of it. That's it. There's no two ways about it. If I die, it ends. Who's going to make the content? Nobody. I don't want anybody else to make my content. I don't want any, wife to have the headache of it. I'm dead, finish. Who cares? Let it go. That's how it is. Next one, at the rate Sino2012. Hi, Loy, sir. What are your thoughts on Northeast Indians, the people, their identity, their race, their culture, their society, and behavior? People from the southern part of India don't seem to get along with the people from the northern part of India. I've heard a lot of stories of racism, of indifference, of rudeness. I've interacted with a couple of them, and there is that slight tone that, these guys from the south, they are dirty, disgusting, or whatever. They should learn Hindi or whatever. And people from the south, they like to have this special identity. You'll never hear someone from South India or let's say Kerala saying, where you from? He'll not say I'm from India. He'll say I'm from Kerala. And people from the north will never identify someone from like Madras. They'll just say, oh, for them, it's a blanket statement. Oh, you're, from South India, or they think Madras, Karnataka, or Mangalore, or Kerala, all is one. So, and another thing is, they feel that because Hindi must be the national language, it must be mandatory. So they don't give them any respect, whether it's Tamil Nadu or say Tulu, Kannada, Malayalam, whatever the language, they disregard all this. So there is always that tension, which will always be there, North and South India. So I watched your videos, Indian men, women, tourists, citing videos like the numbers you have given, 5106, 5924, 6307, 6334, 6601, 6940. You watch all my videos, huh? Okay. So my question is, would does all the above cited videos also apply to Northeast Indian men and women? Indians, when I post a video, it's not this is South Indians, unless I explicitly say in the title, South Indians or Keralites, or I speak about, say, someone from Mumbai or something. Otherwise, if I say Indian, it's generally Indians, but it's not all Indians. It's the majority. Because always remember, if a problem is being highlighted, means there is an issue that's happening. And keep in mind, When you have a population like 1 billion, even 1% is a huge amount. Next one is kukukevin. How do you deal with self-doubt? Very powerful question. I might make a separate video on this, dealing with self-doubt. Thanks for the question, Kuku. Kukukevin. Nice name. But to answer your question here in one line, I take self-doubt, even though it's very negative, even though it's pretty painful sometimes, I use it as a driving force to work harder. So how do I deal with self-doubt? By working even more hard to prove myself. Some people even call it imposter syndrome, whereby it's like you position yourself as a coach and you're guiding people, and sometimes you think, I don't deserve this position, I don't deserve this success. So imposter syndrome and self-doubt kind of match. So how do I deal with it? Well, I just work very hard to provide more value that helps me in getting more successful, and that's how I deal with self-doubt. Next one, Vinay K7. How does life changes and feels at 40? Mental, physical, emotional, spiritual changes. I've already spoken about this, and someone else also asked me this question below. Life at 40, I've already posted videos. You can just Google search Loy at 20 versus Loy at 40. I might make a video of this next year. What are the changes at 40s, late 40s? But I've already made a video on this. You can just Google search Loy Machedo at 20 versus Loy Machedo at 40. I think I made it on 2 or 3. So all I can tell you is, since you've asked me the question here, your priorities change. What you give importance to changes. Like in 20s, it was girls, it was sex, it was look at me, friends, it was having fun. Today, it's no friends, no girls, no showing off, no seeking validation. It's do your work, earn your money, have a quiet life, be happy. So it changes with time. Believe me when I say this, you will change with time. All of us do. Your priorities will make you change. Swastik Patel 4736, my regular. Okay, hello, Mr. Loy. First, I want to thank you for your videos. They are amazing. And you need to shorten your questions. Sometimes your questions are so long. So just make it one line, I can't believe it's been 3 years. I learned so much from you. I value, Swastik, your presence. You're a part of all my groups, and you're truly a value-added guy. But make your questions to the point. So my question is about concentration, how to improve concentration. It's like a muscle. Like when you go to the gym, if first time you go, you try to lift heavy, you can't. You go with natural, like slow progression. Like first you take 10 kilos. Once you find that easy, 15 kilos, find that easy. Slowly, then 20 kilos, then 25, 30. So that's how you become stronger with time. So concentration is also, you break it down into small bits and you increase over the period of time. But if you ask me, you cannot concentrate if you have your phone. I've already answered this question down below. Someone else asked me, but I'm answering you. You cannot concentrate with a phone. You cannot concentrate with the internet. You cannot concentrate with people making noise. You cannot concentrate with people walking. So if you want to concentrate, I'll give you a very simple solution. Like, for example, me, when I want to do work, even though the house is alone, if I want to do something very important, I don't sit here, because here I have the internet, I have my smart device, I have my gaming computer, I have my iPad, everything. I don't sit here. I'll go to the bedroom, okay, next room. I will lock myself and just close the door. I'll have water, whatever. And I'll give myself a target from, let's say, example, 12 o'clock till maybe 3 o'clock or 6 o'clock. I'm not going out no matter what. And the only thing which I'll have is a book, for example. Okay. And obviously, I don't feel sleepy because I have finished sleeping. So there's nothing else to do. There's only a window and there's a room. So I'm forced to concentrate. And when you don't have any noise, you don't have any movement, automatically you concentrate. And like I've told you, sometimes I go to Starbucks. I choose a seat where nobody is there, or an area which is at a corner. I turn my chair or sofa facing the wall, make sure my coffee, laptop, whatever is there, And the reason I turn and face the wall with my back towards the audience, anyone walks, I can't see. Any couple is there, can't see. I can't see out of the window. I can't see cars moving. I can't see people, nothing. Just for concentration. And until I finish, I don't get up from there. So that's how you work on it. But remember, as long as you have the smartphone and the internet and all the apps, impossible to concentrate. So even though you had ADHD, I've noticed that you have some incredible concentrations where you even make a video, even if you're interrupted for a few minutes, you start from the point where you left off. Yeah, like right now, I got up at 4 o'clock in the morning and I knew for a fact that I had to finish this video. Until I finish this, I'm not getting up from here. So, and my goal is to complete this. So, in a fresh mind, I've taken the most important task. How do I improve my concentration? Already answered your question. I would love to know your opinion, but I've answered it. So, next time, just rephrase the question. Might can help. All right. Next one is Kyo Bono Views 77. How do you grow taller after 18? You don't. You just don't. If you're a typical, your DNA, check your family members, whatever is their height, that'll be the average of your height. So you're not going to grow after 18 unless you go for some of those extreme operations of breaking the bone and making it grow. Focus more on your intellect, focus more on your career, focus more on earning more money rather than growing taller. Because remember, Tom Cruise is short, but is incredibly successful than most tall people. Next one, Vinay Menon 5183. You said your childhood dream was to migrate to the West. Yes, it was very much a fascination that I had because I thought if I get that, I'm superior. I will have the last laugh. I can travel the world. I'll have a Gora passport. I know it's extremely difficult, but if you got a chance to migrate there today with your family, would you do it? No, absolutely no. Because, we go for the shiny object without knowing what are the repercussions. It's like wanting to have a sexy, hot, beautiful female, but we don't know what are the problems associated with it. Like, for example, having a super expensive car is fun, but do you know the amount of money required for maintenance, spare parts, the headache of taking care of the car, maintenance? Same thing with females. You might have a very hot female, but the drama, the headache, the expectations. So even going to the West, like for example, Canada was always under my radar, right, from many years. But today, if you look at Canada, the draconian laws, you're forced to use pronouns, or you can even get jailed or lose your job or blacklisted. I mean, Jordan Peterson is going to lose his license just because he refuses to play the game of calling a man a female or giving you the pronouns of your choice. So, given the restrictions, the headaches, the tax, the expenses, the complications, it's not worth it for me because if I were to travel even today, I'll have to start from zero. So, I tell people, you don't have to migrate. Be where you are. As long as you're making money and you're able to live within your means and save money, why do you want to go abroad? For what? And these theories that the government will take care of you and unemployment benefits, it's all sounding very romantic. It's not as easy as it sounds. Even Denmark, if you go, you pay up to 55% tax. Just imagine that. So nothing comes easy, nothing is for free. Everything you pay for, and that is the benefit you get. Okay, so I hope this answers your question. Next one, Sarang Bakshi 8152. Respected sir, my question is, how can an introvert, recluse guy coming from a financially middle class ground become successful in life in his job career dream, which is aspiring for? Okay, there are quite a number of factors here. How can an introvert, recluse guy? Okay, see, what I've noticed is the way you've constructed the question shows that you feel, this is your opinion, you feel if you're an introvert, you cannot be successful. If you're from a financial middle class family, you can't be successful. Okay. And that is why you're asking, how can I be successful? Keep in mind, there are a lot of people who are extroverts, who are not shy, but they're so irritating. They're so, hungry for attention. People hate them. People can't stand them. In fact, there are a lot of people who are introverts because they are so focused into their work. They achieve incredible success. And in today's day and age of social media, where everyone is like, look at me, look at me, look at me, the more extrovert you are, the more attention you seek, the greater the chances of failure. So there's nothing wrong in being a recluse. There's nothing wrong in being an introvert. But you need to network with people, because remember, it's not what you know, it's who you know. So meet the right people, join the right association groups. Uh, then you have a better chance of success. So don't use that as an excuse. You must get out of your comfort zone. And about being from a financial middle class, yeah, we all are middle class people. We start from there and we work one step at a time. And remember, if you earn 100, don't spend 100. If you earn 100, spend only 20. You have 80 as savings. Maybe spend some more for your education, learning, and growth. And as you sharpen more skills, as you have more tools in your arsenal, you will grow and have a goal where you want to move next step. Don't go for 30-year goal. Nobody can plan that. And have a mentor to guide you. That's what I would say. But remember, everything is one step at a time, and set realistic goals. Don't say I want to be a multi-billionaire when you're currently earning only maybe $200 or of $500 a month. If you're earning whatever, give it, say, 20-30% more, one step at a time. And you keep going that, you'll grow. Next one, Atul Neep Hade 4321. Hello, Loisa. I wanted to ask you an odd question. Which is the best soapy massage parlor in Thailand? Have you visited or experienced the same during your Playboy days? I want to experience the same someday when I come to Thailand. I would love to know your opinion. For those of you who do not know, soapy massage parlor is whereby a female, that is if you are into females, provided you are male, or depending which gender you prefer, they'll give you a massage with soap and water, okay? While you're naked and the person's naked. Initially, it starts off slow, and then after that, they use their body to massage you, and then eventually it moves into sex and all that. Okay, so that is a soapy massage parlor. Now, which is the best soapy massage parlor? I have no idea, because I've not gone for it. And one of the main reasons I didn't want to go for it, I was seriously afraid of STDs, because if they are offering you a soapy sexual massage, means that female who you're going to, she must have had 7 guys before you, and she might have 7. I'm just saying, it's not possible 7 guys, because each one is maybe 1 hour or 2 hours. So maybe she had 4 guys before you, and then you're next. And if one of them had an STD, it'll transfer. And then she did it the day before, maybe she had 5 guys. So if you multiply, say, 5 every single day, so in 300 days, for example, rounded figure, 300 days in a year, let's say she takes 2 months off. So 300 into 5 guys is 1,500 guys she has given a soapy massage and had sex with. So don't you think there's a chance for STD? So that's why I didn't go. Which is the best massage parlor? I don't know. Nobody remains there. They keep changing. People keep changing because it's not. There's no benefits they get as insurance or whatever. They're contractors. They are not permanent employees. So have I visited? No, I've not visited. In Playboy days, I had girls. I had girls who were single, or who already went through an STD check in UAE to get their visa. So it was always safe. And why I stopped sleeping around with girls, especially after I left Dubai, is because the other countries like India or Thailand, there is no mandatory STD test. And even if a girl says, I did an STD test at the beginning of the year, how do you know if she didn't have sex with some hippie or something? And believe it or not, STD is very rampant. So be careful. That's all I'll tell you. Okay. Next one is @that's my wish 3783. How to overcome social anxiety and fear of people? Well, it's very simple. Let's say, for example, you have fear of snakes. So how do you overcome that? So you need to face it. When I had the fear of snakes, I was like, how can I face it? So I went to um, pet shop where there were snakes, non-poisonous, and I went and I touched it and I allowed it to, slowly. First come near my finger, then I held it, then it wrapped itself around my, while a handler was there. So I kept doing this. So slow by slow, my fear went. And then I finally got myself a corn snake, a pet. So that's how you overcome, let's say, for example, fear of snakes. Now, obviously, I'm not going to go to poisonous snakes. Where poisonous snakes were concerned, obviously, I went to the ones that are defanged, and I went to a snake tamer or someone who's a professional, and he showed me snakes which were, he removed the poison. And there, the more interaction you have, the less stress you get. So, the same way with fear of people, whether it's public speaking or whether it's interacting with people, you take it one step at a time. And if you keep doing it every single day, you'll get better at it. Just like driving. The first time I held a steering wheel, I was so afraid that the car would just fly off, and I was holding it with both the hands. Today, later on when I got my license, one hand here, one hand, I don't even know where my hands are going, where I'm looking. It becomes second nature to you. So one step at a time, and take someone with you who has experience to guide you, or a mentor, and eventually you'll get there. Next one, at the rate, I think there are just three more. Yes, last three. At the rate Niranjan 1983 NZ7V1 BL. Change your name into something easy. You can customize your at the rate handle. So you made some fantastic videos on different topics. I request you to make a video on Animal 2023 film and the character Ranbir Kapoor and Bobby Deol and your opinion. I've not seen that movie. Might just read the reviews or check with someone. But yeah, let me see if I'll make a video. I did see the trailer. It looked a little bit like very extreme in terms of characterization. So I don't know. Let me see. What's my opinion on violence in movies and its effects on society? I've seen movies that are pretty violent, pretty hardcore, like this movie. Be careful when you watch this movie. Bone Tomahawk. Bone Tomo. Yeah. Tomahawk. Yeah. Bone, Bone, space, Toma, Tomahawk. It's a 2015 film. Be careful if you watch this movie, especially towards the ending. It's very, very, very disturbing. Very powerful movie, very disturbing movie. So I watched violence in movies. I kind of have this strange fetish where I enjoy it, but enjoy it with like you feel that spine tingling feeling. So it's not like, ah. And I also have these WhatsApp groups where they share plenty of graphic videos. Even today, it's not easy for me to watch. And these graphic videos where they're chopping, cutting, slicing, it still disturbs me. So I'm not like, huh, I don't feel anything. I do feel when you see a live human being skinned like a chicken. Or so what's its influence on society? See, I've watched violent movies, I've seen violent scenes, but it has not made me violent. However, I am aware that not everyone is like me. There are some people who, when they see too much of this violence, maybe they're trying to satisfy a fetish that they have. But in some cases, where something like porn or sex videos is concerned, the more people watch it, the more they feel it's normal, especially if you're a youngster, especially if you're someone with lack of experience, and then you think that is normal, and then you identify every girl as just a sexual object, and that's very bad. So it does have its impact on society. Um, so coming to your question, the violence in movies, I think if younger children, teenagers, they see it, they'll be they'll feel it's normal to be violent. They'll think it's macho to be violent. They'll think it's fun to fight, because how they depict those violence and scenes. Even video games, people say video games promote violence. That I totally disagree, because you're playing a character. It's cartoonish, okay? But movies is kind of a different thing, because especially if you're mentally not strong and you're immature, then it can cause a lot of harm. Also, whether the movie is anti-feminist and your opinion on director Sanjay Reddy Vanga. Okay, I've not seen the movie. I don't know about its anti-feminist view, and but I'll definitely check the reviews and maybe I'll make a separate video on this. Okay, hope that helps. Next one, at the rate My Deep Thoughts 2023, 10 lessons you've learned from having a good and fulfilling life. I've made videos like this, like the 10 lessons for various things. So my career, whatever. I might make a video on this next year. That is hardly 25 or 24 days. But I'll give you one lesson. Now I can't think of 10, but I'll give you one lesson for now because I told you I'll make a separate video and I'll give you credit for it. Hope I remember to give you credit. Maybe I'll make a separate note. The most important lesson that I learned is for a good and fulfilling life, if I were to give you one lesson, is it's all about choices that you make. Okay? If you make the right choice, you'll enjoy the right result. You make the wrong choice, you'll pay a price. Now, question is, can you make the right choice every time? No. It's a series of making bad choices. Remember, success comes only after you have made plenty of failures. So good choices come or good decisions come after you made plenty of bad decisions. So if you want a good, happy life, it's making the right choice, but while having lowered your expectation, being realistic. Like if I say, I'll be happy only if I make $1 billion, then I'll never be happy. I'll be happy only if I get a blonde female with beautiful breasts and lovely ass and hot and intelligent and perfect, and I'll never be happy. I'll be happy only if I have, I'm number one on YouTube or whatever. But on the other hand, if I put something that's simple and realistic, I'll be happy if I have a simple meal for today, a good meal. That's easy, right? I'll be happy if I can, let's say, be with my family today, spend few minutes, simple things in life, then you'll find happiness. Okay, so lower your expectations, make right choices, and you'll be happy. Okay, I'll make a separate video on this and I'll give it plenty of thought. Okay, so my deep thoughts 2023. Last but not the least, Flame Love 6438. Hi Loy, what are your thoughts on Dubai job market for 2024? Is it possible to make a separate video on it? Yes, I will definitely make, but next year. But I'll not make it just giving opinions. I will make it only after consulting people that I know in the industry or in the market, because whenever I do make a video, it is based on interaction with people, decision makers, and I'll not make it immediately in the first week. I'll make it after like at least the mid of Jan or towards the end. So then they would have a pulse of how the market is headed and I would have the accurate information, because remember, media never reveals the truth. Okay. So these are all the questions. I think I did get one email, okay, of someone who gave me a very private question. I cannot show you what he has asked because he has asked me to keep his identity confidential. Okay, so I'm not going to give you his name, but this is what he has said. Okay, so he is um, he's a student in Canada. Okay, foreign student, third year in university. He still has 1.5 years left, so still there's time. There are many companies here that demand work experience in entry-level positions, and the job market is becoming more competitive. As a college grad, what should I do to help me get an amazing opportunity after graduation? There's still time, 1.5 years left. Don't bother. How do you know that you would even get passing marks? How do you know? How do you know that you'll complete your education successfully? How do you know that maybe you'll not stop in between? How do you know the college will not close down? How do you know that maybe your parents can't fund you? So stop thinking 1.5 years ahead when your immediate goal is to study. And one thing I would tell you is, like anything else, if you work after college hours, if you work, uh, one is a college recommended place where they can give you some credits. or there's proof of validation that you did work, or if you work for a company or an employer that can give you an actual work certificate, the more number of hours you have after college hours, the more value it'll give you. Okay, so focus on that. So 1.5 years, every day, if you work after your college or you work before, I don't know what is your college timings, you will get experience, which will give you the confidence when you apply for a job. Okay. Next one is, I have one that is a personal topic. It's the main reason I'm anonymous. I know it might sound stupid, but I wanted to ask you, I'm gay and just getting into a dating scene for the first time. Any tips that I should see in guys to date as a priority? As I'm hesitant for, I want to go for a date and maybe progress into a relationship. Okay. We are living in a day and age where there's nothing wrong in being gay, homosexual, or heterosexual, whatever. It's a sexual preference that you have. So if you are gay, just keep in mind that, see, being Canada, they're very open about being gay and all that. For them, they don't care. They don't care if you prefer men today and women tomorrow. Just make sure that the group that you're hanging out with, they are comfortable with your sexuality. Okay? That is number one. The second one is, um, if you don't have experience in dating, start with friendship. As a friend, start as a friend and build on that and hang out with groups that have common interests. And the more you interact with people, the more experience you'll get. Like, even if a guy were to say, I don't have any experience dating a girl, I would just tell them, hang out with a group that has plenty of girls. So you talk to them as friends first. Once you talk, they'll get comfortable with you, they'll hang out with you. And that is how you build relationships. Okay. So don't focus on having a long term relationship or sex. And first have a friend and from there move. But remember, very important, just make sure that the group that you're hanging out with is comfortable with your sexuality, because sometimes you might be very friendly with the group. Everything will go fine. And one day, if you reveal this, maybe they'll not be comfortable. That might hurt your feelings. So just keep that in mind. Okay. So take one step at a time and don't think too far ahead. You're worried about 1.5 years after your college and a relationship. Focus on today, on now. So make a friend for today. Have a group for today. Don't think of a relationship. That's one. Surround yourself with more gay friends. And where work experience is concerned, every day after work, every day after college, if you go and work somewhere, or you can ask your dean, or you can ask maybe the guide who's there in the college, maybe they can give you a college approved assignment, and that might give you credits and work experience. So, guys, I hope this answered your question. I think I've nearly spent almost 1.5 hours. Okay, or maybe, yeah. So, yeah, put your comments and thoughts below. Thank you very much for the final Ask Me Anything for December. And we'll have a AMA next year. Good, bad, ugly. Feel free. Comment down below. This is me signing off. You guys take care.